Welcome back, AP. Welcome back to it. Welcome back to our discussion about Napoleon, right? Don't worry. I'm not going to actually talk that fast. Stop freaking out, Delilah. It's going to be fine. Now, the biggest thing about it, though, in general, is we're going to have this very, very short flip to wrap up all the Napoleon stuff, right? So where we left off in class when I saw Maisie's jaw hit the ground, when I said that 590,000 of the 600,000 of the Grand Army are going to freeze to death on their way back from Russia, when Napoleon had this terrible idea to try and invade Russia, but the Russians, under Sophie Panzavecchia, are going to have a great idea to, I don't know, burn and destroy everything as they retreat using that scorched earth policy, is going to hand Napoleon his biggest defeat that he was ever faced with, right? And so the invasion of Russia was a massive failure, and he lost troops and soldiers from all over the empire that he had created after successfully making Talleyrand very upset. Now, the big thing about it, though, is after he returns back to France, right, for his warmongering, he would be arrested by coalition forces after about a year. It takes them about a year to get to him, to get to Paris, to arrest him, and to basically put him on trial for crimes against humanity. And so what's going to happen in 1814, Napoleon will be exiled to a small island off the coast of Italy known as Elba, right? Now, the thing about Elba, though, is, y'all, look how close Elba is to the coast of Italy. And then also, fun fact, that's Corsica right there, right? So the thing about Elba in general is this was a really, really stupid idea, right? Exiling Napoleon to a small island and allowing like the country of France to try and get their stuff together, to try and come to terms with what has just happened, and to give back all the land that Napoleon has taken over is going to take some time. And the thing about it is you exiled him to an island that literally he could doggy paddle his way back to Italy if he so felt like. And that's exactly what happened, right? So the thing about it is Napoleon would eventually escape the island of Elba after he is exiled. And when he escaped, he actually landed back in Italy and he marched his way to Paris, recruiting the armies that were still loyal to him. There were still several generals that liked him a lot, still several captains and lieutenants that worked in the French military that saw Napoleon as their true leader rather than the king that had now been reinstalled, which was Louis XVIII. But we'll get to all that stuff a little bit later on. But Napoleon escaped the island of Elba, and to this day, no one knows how he did it. To this day, no one knows how he pulled off his escape from the island of Elba, right? But the thing about it, though, is he did. He did pull it off. And it's absolutely wild. He gets all the way back to France, and for 100 days, he recruits a massive military, and he tries to fight the coalition forces yet again, right? Now, the thing about it is the coalition forces were not about to lose to him a second time. The coalition was like, we are not going to allow this turd to assemble an army and come back at us once again. And the coalition forces that were under the lead of the British this time that decided to finally get involved in this land invasion and under the actual command of the Duke of Wellington, this very young and handsome guy that was going to come in and try to use his military prowess against Napoleon, because Admiral Horatio Nelson's dead by this point, so you can't really use him in this fight anymore, is going to decide to meet Napoleon at a very all-important battlefield. This battlefield is known as Waterloo, right? Yes, just like the ABBA song that we'll listen to whenever we're doing our review or something like that. Y'all know it really well. When it goes, Waterloo, that one, you know what I mean? So at Waterloo, Napoleon would show up with his army and the coalition forces would defeat him in an embarrassing defeat. Napoleon made several mistakes in this battle as well. Apparently it had rained several nights beforehand, and the coalition forces used this to their advantage because Napoleon couldn't send a cavalry charge over the field because it was too wet and the horses would have tripped and wouldn't have made it effective. So the coalition forces attacked early, swiftly, and defeated Napoleon's forces at the Battle of Waterloo, which is a very, very important event. Put a star next to the Battle of Waterloo because we'll end up referencing back to it again later on. He is captured yet again after the 100 days, after his second loss to coalition forces in less than 2 years. And this time, the coalition's not messing around. And they decide to exile him to the island of St. Helena, which is way, way, way far off the coast of West Africa. He sits there, bored out of his mind, gardens every single day. And by 1821, a mere 6 years later, after he's exiled off the coast of Africa, he died of stomach cancer, all right? And so the big thing about it, though, is, as you can tell, Napoleon has destroyed European history, continental, geopolitics, and socioeconomic issues will be abound after his rule. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up all the pieces in that next unit after we talk about the Industrial Revolution in Great Britain. But we'll talk about all that stuff, study this little bit of things. I'll see y'all soon. Y'all have a good one. Looking forward to your test.